Okay.
9. A blessing that was given to Africa that turned into a curse, generating conflicts between Egypt, Sudan, and Ethiopia. The conflict has lasted for decades without a sign of a resolution. So what is the root cause of this conflict? I sat down with a young Pan-Africanist to discuss about this issue. Joining me now is my friend and a Pan-Africanist, Langa. Langa, thank you so much for joining me today. Langa, we often hear about the conflict of the River Nile that has lasted for decades. Can you tell us about the River Nile and where it's located?
Thank you for having me again in your show. So,
Absolutely.
the Nile itself, it comes from the word Etra, which means that the big river. So the Nile is one of in fact, the longest river in the world that covers the area of 6,650 kilometers. So the Nile, there's a big mix conceptual about the Nile itself. The Nile comes from two Nile. There's White Nile, then there's Blue Nile.
All right.
So the Blue Nile comes from Lake Tana in Ethiopia.
Okay.
Then the White Nile comes from Lake Victoria, which is deep in East Africa, that is Tanzania, Rwanda, Uganda, and Kenya.
Correct.
Coming all the way through South Sudan and Sudan. So from the capital of Sudan, Khartoum,
Okay.
the two Niles meet, the Blue and White, and from there, it's called the River Nile.
The River Nile. Okay. And it looks like it comes from different nations. So what benefit or what good does it bring to these nations?
Yeah, the Nile has benefits of electricity. It has a benefit of agricultural project. And then also there's so many civilizations that has been built alongside the Nile.
Right.
The Forest civilization, the Napata civilization, the Kush civilization. So many civilizations that has been built along the Nile.
It's a very important river there. So the conflict of River Nile has lasted for decades. We often hear about this conflict. What is the root cause of these conflicts between Egypt, Sudan, and Ethiopia?
Okay, the root cause of this conflict is the agreement that has been signed during the time of 1929 and 1959. So the British signed an agreement that gave Egypt the veto right of any developmental project that might come along the Nile, and also gave them 55 billion cubic meter of water, and Sudan 18 billion cubic meter of water. So only between the two countries, not even two countries, like they were all under British.
Okay.
So no one signed that agreement.
Pretty much it's in the interest of the British. So that Egypt is holding on to that agreement to this day. That is what's causing the conflict. Okay, now we heard Ethiopia was also building a dam that Egypt does not approve of. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, the Ethiopian dam, it's an idea that started by the time of Emperor Haile Selassie.
Right.
And then it came also by the time of Meles Zenawi in 2010, 2011, I mean, that's the time that the dam started, the construction of the dam started.
Okay.
So that dam being the 10th biggest dam in the world, and then the biggest dam in Africa, that's expected to generate huge electricity.
Okay.
So that is the cost, because that dam, Egypt, like in disagreement of that dam because of the agreement that they had from British, and also because of like other issues, mostly political issues.
Okay, so it sounds like this dam will bring civilization and economic growth in the region. So why is Egypt not approving of this dam? What is the problem?
Yeah, like first of all, like they sat in many agreements, and the latest one was in 2015 in Sudan.
Mm-hmm.
They sat there, and then they had a memorandum of understanding, in which like how do they get to solve conflict between them.
Mm-hmm.
So the problem of this dam, okay, is the technical part of it. There's no problem.
Okay.
Yeah, because the only problem that Sudan has is like sharing of data. Sudan want Ethiopia to share data whenever they are releasing water or they're holding water in the dam. Why? Because Sudan has other projects along the Nile.
Okay.
But the problem of the Nile, according to what I'm saying, it's political. because Egypt has been seen as the focus eye. But at this time, other African countries are growing. In fact, Ethiopia, as being having the third largest population in Africa, Ethiopia is growing.
Right.
So Egypt is kind of like feeling hesitate of that focus.
Okay.
And by AU being in Ethiopia, so there is a lot Ethiopia will really benefit.
Right. So it sounds like it's only a problem of electricity. So the dam will process electricity and then dump water. But there are alternatives to that. There are solar plants to avoid the conflict. Why can't Ethiopia build a solar plant to generate electricity that way?
That's a great question, and then it can be even asked to both sides why Egypt should not do the same. But let me start with like Ethiopia herself. Building a hydroelectric dam, it's way cheaper than building
a solar plant,
or even nuclear plant.
Right.
And that's why Ethiopia had to choose that route. And at the same thing, Egypt need to really explain the issue of the Nile is political, it's not technical. Because if it's about technicalities, it's all clear.
Ethiopia meets the requirement.
Ethiopia meets all a requirement, and it is out there in the internet. Everyone can view, and experts in the Nile have explained. There's nothing.
So the dam won't affect Egypt in any way.
It won't affect Egypt in any way because the dam is not. There's two types of dam that holds water, and then there's a dam that processes water, and then this is hydroelectric dam. The main purpose of it to hold it, process it, release it.
Okay.
But the difference here is, like, Ethiopia need to tell them that when there is a dry season, how many water should you hold?
Okay, and then share information with Sudan.
Share information with Sudan and also with Egypt.
Okay. Recently, the AU President Felix Tshisekedi of DRC had a meeting with the president of Egypt. Is there an agreement? Have they reached an agreement about the River Nile in recent conflict?
Actually, like, one of the things that the problem of this Nile will not really have a settlement soon, as long as there's no political will.
Right.
People need to have a will.
Right.
Because Ethiopia has a right to develop.
Absolutely.
We all know the dark time of Ethiopia by the time Ethiopia was in famine. And even we were all happy by the time Egypt built Suez Canal.
Right.
We were so happy.
Yes.
We were so happy of all the developmental projects that happened in Egypt. And Egypt needs to be happy of any project that get to happen in Africa.
Right. As a spirit of Ubuntu.
Yeah.
All right, as always, Langa, thank you so much for joining us today, and I hope you guys learn a lot about River Nile today. Please remember to subscribe, like, and if you have any question about this video, drop it in the comments. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time.